I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Kevin Carr.
And this is It's Movie Time. Kevin, he's back in the Terminator Genisys.
I'm back.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger, aside for a second, can you make some sense out of this movie for me, please? What the heck is it about?
Well, it's a sweet little movie about a girl who teaches a machine the true meaning of Christmas. No, it actually... I always would say it goes back to the beginning, which is to say it goes back to the future, which is technically in like 2 years or something like that. Where John Connor sends Kyle Reese back to 1984 to save Sarah Connor, but of course when he gets there, everybody's there already, and the Terminators have messed things up, and he's trying to get going. And then they go back to the future to try and stop this from happening ever in the future.
And the Terminators actually beat them to going back to 19-something, they're in 1984, which is Cameron's date as well.
Yeah.
The first Terminator. But they had already got...
They had already gone to the 70s at some point.
To the 70s.
Yeah.
So, basically, if you're going to see the Terminator, and it's another one of the blockbusters of the summer, you just don't want to get caught up in trying to understand the plot too deeply.
No. And I think one of the problems with this movie that it has is generally really sort of high concept, convoluted science fiction story isn't real mainstream. You know, we're talking about an audience, a general audience that gets confused by Inception, which is not that hard to understand.
Okay.
It's pretty simple, dream within a dream. And this one is it's looping its timeline back, and even if you're a big fan, and I love time travel movies, even if you go back and you revisit all these, you're violating the time travel rules from the last one. It's getting very confusing about where you are.
Right.
And that's sometimes a tough sell.
And I think, Kev, that the filmmakers are using the time travel to kind of manipulate their plot.
Oh.
It's so easy. If you want to do something, do it. Just go back or go forward, and then you can solve all your plot problems if everybody doesn't make demands on you.
Yeah. I think it does build a house of cards. That's very shaky. And even for me, it's confusing, and it violates its own rules. But the Terminator films have always done that. They've always violated. But I think at this point, and they had like 40 minutes of narration in the beginning to try and because they can't assume everyone's seen a 30-year-old movie.
Kevin, this is the 5th iteration of this darn franchise.
Yeah, there were 5. The last one most people blocked out as a traumatic experience.
Well, this one, Arnie's back, because he wasn't in the last one. Is that right?
He had a face replacement done on one of them, but he wasn't in because he was still governor.
I'm a bit soft for Arnie.
Mm-hmm.
He makes me feel good when he's on.
Yeah.
All right? Now, we know we have some BS notion about his skin aging. Their answer to how could he look so old when he's just a machine?
Here's the thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger still looks pretty good for his age.
67.
He's almost in as good shape as I am. But you have to explain it away why the model doesn't look the same. When they did the first sequel, which was in 1991, like 7 years after the first movie, you could make him look pretty close.
Yes, right.
But you have to explain why he's gotten old and why he's not as bulky as he was before. And I think that's fine. I don't know. I think when Schwarzenegger's on screen as a Terminator, I'm sold. I love the movie with him.
Look, I'll tell you the great moments in this movie is when he's with Sarah Connor, playing a kind of paternal role with her, played by Emilia Clarke, who I thought helped me get over Linda Hamilton not being there.
Yeah, I thought she was good. I thought she was a worthy Sarah Connor.
Yes, me too. Yeah. Me too. But this one, where there's an interchange between the two of them, where he's really trying to protect her, and there's some smart-ass stuff going on.
Which is going back to the second movie, because that's kind of he was her protector in the second movie.
Yeah. I thought I thought Schwarzenegger was really good. In fact, one of the limitations of the movie for me is there's not enough Schwarzenegger.
That's not well, and there's too much Jai Courtney because he's terrible.
Who is that?
Kevin,
how does this guy get work?
He is the new Sam Worthington. But boy, once you get Arnold in there and things start blowing up, it becomes a Terminator movie and it's a lot of fun again. I mean, for an entertainment value, I thought it was good if you can get past the explanation. If you can wrap your brain around the plot to follow it, because it's all the stuff that happens science fiction-y is kind of critical to understanding what's actually going on in the movie.
Yeah. And for understanding what happens to John Connor.
Yeah.
All right, I think you're right. You have to have some basic understanding of that plot to see how his character evolves. And I thought it was a nice twist.
They have some cool stuff. They explain. They blow it all in the trailer. So if you've seen the trailer, you know
I've
everything
heard
happened.
that. Haven't seen the trailer, but I read that.
I actually avoided the trailer because I saw the very first one, and then I'd heard from other colleagues that the next one was really spoilery, and then I went back and watched it last week, and it gives everything away. Yeah, you get no surprises. Which I guess the average audiences don't care about that. It bothers me. Forever, but yeah, you're right. I mean, they have some cool stuff, but again, it's so critical to the storyline. You have to wrap your brain around it. If you're not used to watching science fiction, it can be confusing.
How about CGI and all that? Is it all? I mean, if this is James Cameron, child here, isn't he even a producer of this film?
I think James Cameron's involved in some way, and he's he endorsed it. He gave his
right.
He gave his his approval.
Yeah.
Which is good because I don't know whether that happened in the last two. I hope it didn't happen on Salvation because that thing was awful.
I can't keep track.
I will say this: this is best seen just after recently seeing the first two movies. I watched because I was showing stuff to my kids, 80s movies to my kids this week, and we watched the Terminator, the first one, literally the day before we saw this movie, and it's a lot of fun because there's all these Easter eggs and there's all these shots they redo and lines they redo, and that's really cool. And they do that with the second movie as well. They kind of ignore the other two, which is okay. Jurassic Park did that.
Well, this is no Jurassic World.
No.
At least it's not going to make as much money as Jurassic World.
Well, not yet.
I mean, I don't think. But anyway, Kevin, at that moment we have to decide to apply a grade.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you, as my colleague, if you would be the first one to offer a grade for Terminator Genisys.
I'm giving it a B- because it's still fun. It's a good summer movie. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense all the time, but it's enjoyable.
And I'm really close to you, and my reasons are almost the same. I'm offering a C. First of all, because I love seeing Arnold Schwarzenegger again. And secondly, because there really are good moments in this movie. And if you realize it's summertime, and you relax, and don't get too bent out of shape about the convoluted plot, I think it's another blockbuster for summer, which Americans do very well.
Yeah. And we'll see how it does overseas.
All right. It's Movie Time is brought to you by the Gateway Film Center, 1550 North High Street, Columbus, Ohio. Further details and showtimes online at gatewayfilmcenter.com.
The award-winning It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.